We all dream of hitting the jackpot, don't we? That fantasy where a sudden windfall erases every financial worry, letting us buy anything, quit the daily grind, and live like royalty. But history has a cruel way of shattering that illusion. Unearned wealth, dumped in massive quantities, doesn't bless a nation, it infects it like a virus, spreading decay from within. This isn't some abstract tale, it's the grim saga of the Spanish Empire in the 16th and 17th centuries. Spain didn't just win the lottery, they stumbled upon the vault. In 1545, they uncovered the richest silver deposit the world had ever known, turning them into the undisputed superpower of their age. They commanded the mightiest armies, the grandest fleets, and claimed a divine mandate to rule. Their empire was the first where the sun never set. Yet, in the end, they watched it all crumble to dust. Spain learned the brutal truth of economics. Precious metals aren't wealth, they're an addiction, and Spain overdosed spectacularly. To grasp this downfall, we need to journey to a remote, wind-swept plateau in the Andes Mountains of what is now Bolivia. The year is 1545. The place, Potosí, a barren speck high in the sky. An indigenous herder named Diego Hualpa, or Gualpa, was chasing a stray llama when he slipped and grabbed a bush for support. As the roots tore free, he glimpsed something extraordinary, veins of pure silver glinting in the earth. This was Cerro Rico, the rich hill. It wasn't an ordinary mine, the mountain itself seemed composed of silver ore, a geological anomaly on a scale never imagined. Before this discovery, Spain was a formidable power, forged in the fires of the Reconquista, a centuries-long crusade to expel Muslim rulers from the Iberian Peninsula. Their society revered warriors, deeply Catholic and battle-hardened, prioritizing honor and faith over commerce and ledgers. But Cerro Rico changed everything. When Spanish conquistadors arrived, they recognized El Dorado in reality. Potosí exploded from a desolate outpost into one of the world's largest cities. By the late 16th century, its population surpassed that of London or Paris, swelling to over 160,000 souls. Perched at over 13,000 feet, it became a hub of frenzied greed, brutal violence, and staggering riches. Extracting that silver demanded immense labor, turning an economic boom into a humanitarian catastrophe. The Spanish revived and adapted the Inca Mita system, a forced labor draft targeting indigenous communities. Tens of thousands of men, aged 18 to 50, from hundreds of miles away were conscripted annually. They endured week-long shifts in suffocating tunnels, emerging only briefly before descending again, hauling heavy ore sacks up precarious ladders. Locals called Cerro Rico the mountain that eats men. Disease, accidents, and mercury poisoning claimed countless lives. Estimates suggest millions perished over centuries in the mines of Potosí. Mining the ore was grueling, but refining it posed another challenge. The ore was low-grade, requiring innovative processing. In the 1570s, under Viceroy Francisco de Toledo, the mercury amalgamation method revolutionized production. Crushed ore was mixed with toxic mercury, then trampled barefoot by workers in vast patios. This patio process enabled industrial-scale extraction, previously impossible. Mercury came from mines like Huancavelica in Peru, another hellish site reliant on Mita labor. The result? Between 1550 and 1800, Spanish America, primarily Potosí and Mexican mines like Zacatecas, produced about 80% of the world's silver. Much of it flowed to Spain, minted in bars or the iconic piece of 8, Real de Ocho, the first true global currency. Accepted from Shanghai to Seville, it became the dollar of its era, influencing modern currencies like the US dollar. Twice yearly, the Flota de Indias, massive treasure fleets of galleons, assembled in Havana. Heavily armed convoys, laden with billions in modern value silver, sailed for Spain. Their arrival triggered nationwide celebrations. Church bells pealed, kings sighed in relief, and creditors celebrated. Spain ascended instantly to European dominance. Their tercios, elite infantry formations, remained unbeaten for generations. Grand cathedrals rose, gilded an American treasure. Kings like Charles V and his son Philip II ruled as planetary monarchs, convinced divine favor had anointed Spain to lead Christendom. But herein lay the fatal flaw. Staring at mountains of silver, they declared, "We are rich." They mistook money, a mere medium, for true wealth, the capacity to produce goods, food, tools, ships. Infinite inflows of bullion lulled Spain into complacency, eroding productive foundations. Like a potent drug, silver delivered euphoria and illusions of invincibility, while vital economic organs failed. Picture a Seville shoemaker in 1550. Seville, the America's gateway, boomed as ships unloaded silver-laden sailors, nobles, and soldiers flush with cash. Demand soared. He rationally hiked prices. This cascaded. Bakers raised bread costs, landlords rents, weavers cloth prices. Economists dubbed this the price revolution, the first major modern inflation crisis. Silver floods skyrocketed money supply, but goods production stagnated. European prices, stable for centuries, a 1500 loaf matching 1400's cost, quadrupled in Spain, up 400%. For a medieval society, this shattered stability. Wages lagged, peasants buying less despite abundant silver. Starvation stalked rural areas, not from scarcity, but monetary chaos.
The wealthy faced irony. Hyper-expensive Spanish goods lost competitiveness. French or English shoes, untouched by bullion floods, cost far less. Consumers imported, draining silver to rivals in France, England, the Netherlands, Italy. Spain bore the burdens, enslaving miners, risking oceans, battling pirates, only to fund competitors. Culturally, this warped society. While Dutch and English merchants built factories, shipyards, and mills, selling to affluent Spaniards, manual labor grew disdainful in Spain. The ideal became the hidalgo, landowning minor noble, shunning trade, living on pensions or rents. Easy money bred consumers and bureaucrats dreaming of court positions near the silver spigot, not entrepreneurship. Spanish picaresque novels, like Don Quixote, teem with impoverished nobles clinging to honor, polishing armor rather than soiling hands in commerce. While rivals innovated, Dutch inventing stock markets, English advancing agriculture, Spain adorned itself in plunder, churches, velvet capes. Externally shiny, internally hollow. No robust production, no innovation, just awaiting the next fleet. This dependency bred vulnerability. Empire hinged on ships braving storms and foes. Philip II, ruling from gloomy El Escorial amid paperwork and monks, embodied ambition. Controlling Spain, Portugal, Italian territories, Netherlands, Philippines, the Americas, he was the planet king. But empire demanded endless funds. Viewing himself as Catholicism's defender against Protestants and Ottomans, he waged perpetual wars. Lepanto victory over Turks, 1571, Italian conflicts, but especially the draining 80 Years' War crushing Dutch rebels. Logistics nightmares, marching armies via the Spanish road through the Alps, sustaining 70,000 men afar. By the mid-16th century, Potosí veins thinned. No fallback industries existed. Unlike England, wool, Netherlands, banking, France, luxuries. Castilian cities depopulated, fields fallowed. Once world-dominating Spain became Europe's sick man. Rivals thrived on diverted silver. Dutch built trade empires. British funded industrial revolution. Wealth is productivity, not dug metal. Spain funneled America's riches to modernity's builders, leaving itself empty. The Spanish Empire warns nations and individuals alike. Resource curse severs work-reward links, fostering illusory prosperity that rots foundations. Spain drowned in silver. Masters turned slaves to fortune.